The money counter thing, it's so exciting. Summertime, Winterfell. I'm the Night King. $1. Let's go. Welcome back to House Rich, the first time homebuyer show where we help millennials figure out where do I get started in real estate and how to build generational wealth. Today's topic is why the fourth quarter is the best time of the year to purchase a home. Today's intro was sponsored by Virginia Beach-based philosopher Terrence Thornton. Let's get into it. So my wife is a Cowboys fan, and I'm a fan of the team from Washington who should have just stayed nameless instead of going with the Commanders, which is kind of a weird name. And so we went to a game a few years back between our teams, and so we got the tickets, but one of the big things when you're going to any football game is like, hey, what's going on with parking, right? Because parking sucks because everybody's trying to get to the stadium, right? Like everyone's trying to get there. And so what we did is we parked just far away from the stadium. We got a shuttle to go to the stadium. But if you ever made the mistake of parking in the stadium parking lot, it may be okay getting in, but getting out is a disaster because everyone is trying to leave the stadium at the same time, right? And so, but on the other side, if you've ever been to a stadium where there's no game going on, it's perfect. It's the most parking in the world. Like, if you've ever been to like an event at a stadium when there's not a football game going on, just like a small event, there's just so much parking. And that is the difference between buying a home in the winter versus buying a home in the summer. So let's get into this topic. You probably wonder why I was going there, right? And so you're probably thinking like, why in the world would you want to buy a home during the fourth quarter, right? Because there's Christmas, there's Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever denomination you roll with. It's, if you're up north, it's super snowy. You don't want to be driving around during the time looking at the houses while it's so cold outside. It's a stressful time of the year. You got to deal with in-laws that you don't want to talk to. You got to deal with family members you don't want to talk to. Maybe you're working overtime to pay for gifts for Christmas. There's just so much going on. And you're like, why do I want to throw this monkey wrench into the thing, which is probably the most stressful thing, which is like moving, moving to a new home. And so, exactly. Like, why would somebody want to do that on the other end? Because when you sell a home, someone has to do all that stuff as well, as far as like moving and buying a new home or going somewhere else. And so, if their home is on the market during October, November, December, and even January, there is a reason. It's probably for one of like four things, right? And so, maybe it's a good reason. Maybe they got a promotion or a new job and they have to like relocate. And so they naturally have to like sell their home. Like they're moving from, I don't know, DC to LA, right? They got to get rid of the DC property maybe to purchase a super expensive home in LA, or they just don't want to carry two properties at once, right? And so they got to sell the home because they're going to be having a living expense in LA no matter what. So they want to get rid of the home as soon as possible. Or, maybe unfortunately they're getting divorced and somebody has to actually sell the home in the divorce. And so, or it could be another unfortunate situation where, maybe they fell some sort of hard financial times and for whatever reason they have to actually, sell the property because they can no longer afford the mortgage on the property. So those are one good scenario, two bad scenarios, but they actually all work in your favor, right? And so, and the fourth situation is maybe they just couldn't sell the home, during the summertime. It's been sitting on the market for whatever reason. And so they also want to get the home off the market as quick as possible because they don't want to fall into that, November, December time frame where there's less buyers on the market, which is less competition for you, right? And so, once again, I'm just going to reiterate, like if somebody's selling a home during that time frame, they really have to sell. Like no one just voluntarily throws a home up on the market in those fall season or the fall winter time frame, right? And also, furthermore, like I know Christmas decorations are cool to look at, but when you're selling a home, you want it to look its best, and it looks its best in the summer. You got the lawn is green, you got flowers popping, just everything looks good. The birds are chirping, the sun may be shining right on the house, so everything just seems to look better in the summertime as well. And on top of that, folks typically don't want to move during the school season if they have kids as well. So that's another reason that folks tend to wait till the summer as well in order to sell their home. And so, once again, that all works in your favor. Once again, because somebody really probably has to sell this if they're listing during those time periods as well. And let's talk about new construction now. Let's talk about builders and kind of what their motivation is during those winter, fall months, October, November, December. So from a builder standpoint, they want to get the inventory off their books before the new year. And it's really a tax issue. So here's how taxes work. The taxes are based on the value of the land on January 1st of the previous year. And so the taxes they're paying on that home you see are basically dirt lot taxes, because that plot of land was most likely just a plot of dirt. And so they're paying minuscule taxes on their property. If it rolls into the new year, they have to interact with the much higher taxes or the fully assessed taxes of a home being on their property. And they just don't want to deal with that. So like builders will throw all sorts of incentives at you that you don't see during the summer typically. Like I've seen like huge, like this is actually before like the market kind of declining now, but I've seen like, $20,000, pay all your closing costs. Like you'll get huge discounts because builders want to move that inventory in the winter. Because once again, there's less sellers coming out there, so they have to increase the rate. They have to increase their close rate for the people that do come through by throwing out crazy incentives. Trust me, I see a lot of those during the wintertime. Also gives you opportunity to look at like the home structurally as well. So maybe you want to do stuff and look forward to see how the pipes are able to hold up during the winter. During the wintertime, that's when the pipes will potentially burst when it's cold and frozen outside. So that's why I think the fourth quarter is the perfect time of the year to buy a home. And so this has nothing to do with like what's going on with the market currently. The market is the market, but I just think in general the fourth quarter is the perfect time to buy a home. So I know if my wife and I go to purchase another home, I'm just going to strongly push for us to purchase a home during the fourth quarter, so I get those builder discounts and maybe sellers that really have to sell. So let me know what you think down below. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know if you want to see any other topics. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and until next week, thanks.